Good morning, Discovery. That was a wake-up for Ken from Katie and Emily, who are here with us in MCC.
Good morning.
Good morning. We were trying to give you a little bit of... We're trying to give you a little bit of the bare necessities, but we couldn't get it all up. We had a little comm dropout.
Well, thanks, Shep. I really appreciate that. And as you know, we do have all the bare necessities of life here.
Discovery Houston, we're back with you.
Okay, Jan, welcome back.
Yeah, you might be.
And are you interested in any live downlink of the mid-deck right now?
That sounds great. We're ready.
Okay, now that we've all gotten ourselves presentable and pretty well fixed up, we'll send you a signal as soon as we can get the camera turned on.
Okay.
Okay, we just had a pretty interesting night pass across the continent of Europe. All the major cities were visible, and we passed right over the Black Sea and then the Caspian Sea, which you could see the cities on the coast, and then right down across Iran and then the west coast of India, looking across the Arabian Peninsula. All the fires there in Kuwait City were all very visible, stood out brighter than any of the lights of any of the cities around.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And you're looking marvelous in the middeck.
Sam says this is exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, thanks.
The attitude we're in right now, Jan, has us looking out the side commander's window is in the direction of our motion. So it's kind of like a preview of everything yet to come, looking straight out here. And right now, looking right down the boot of Italy, there are enough cities that are positioned along the coast, all the way down the peninsula, as you can clearly make out the definition of where the land is, and the water is jet black. So it's easy to tell the outline of all the countries.
Roger that, Ken. And we just took payload bay cameras because we wanted to take a look for ourselves, and we can see that. It's amazing.
It's quite a lightning storm right off of Naples right now.
Yeah, we see that.
Cities of Venice, Rome, Naples, Genoa, all clearly visible.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty big lightning storm.
And there's another lightning storm right off just north of the Straits of Messina.
Well, it's beautiful here. It must really be spectacular up there.
It's hard to believe, sitting over here, that you can look on the horizon and see the lights from the fires down there in Kuwait.
That is pretty amazing.
mission specialists aboard Discovery are in the process of setting up the mid-deck zero-gravity dynamics experiment. In this case, what they've done is to attach to the experiment support module on a mid-deck locker the shaker, which will be used to impart some dynamics on the fluid test articles that will be worked with on this flight day. One of the 4 fluid test articles has already been demonstrated a couple of days ago. Today they'll be conducting some investigations with the spherical cylinder with silicon oil. They'll also be using a flat cylinder with water and a spherical cylinder with water. Essentially, the way this system that's being set up works is the astronauts command a computer using a keypad to execute the test routines. The computer and the associated control circuits energize the containers or the truss with just the right oscillations and forces, and then measures the response of the either the fluid test article or the structural test article.
Houston, Discovery from the Boatsters.
Go ahead.
Okay, we finished calibration. We're going to start off with 22 spherical bottom oil.
Okay, we copy that.
This is Mission Control Houston with a spherical fluid test article containing silicon oil mounted now on the shaker. Crew will begin to input via the computer keyboard the routine stored on the optical recorder that will energize the container and the assembly there with precisely controlled forces, and then it will measure the responses. The crew's insight to the progress of this experiment is provided by the alphanumeric display that's visible just at the top of the assembly.
Discovery Houston for JO.
Go ahead, Jen.
Okay, JO, as they normally do, our tracking network has been tracking other bodies out there in space, and we have been tracking a rocket body as a possible conjunction. So we plan to tell you to do a maneuver. Just wanted to give you a heads up. It'll be a +X burn out of the aft, so we'll be burning retrograde about 2 feet per second. We expect a TIG sometime around 2:32. That's 2 hours, 32 minutes. And we may have to change that a little bit so we get good comm coverage.
Okay, thanks.
This is Mission Control Houston. That last exchange between Capcom Jan Davis and Discovery's Commander J.O. Creighton was in regard to a report that we've been given here in Houston that there is a rocket body that has been tracked by both Air Force and NASA tracking and data resources around the world that poses a potential conjunction with Discovery about 2.5 hours from now. The flight rules state that a collision avoidance maneuver will be performed for a potential conjunction that could occur within 1.5 nautical miles radially, 3.6 nautical miles down track, or about 1.43 nautical miles out of plane. This potential conjunction falls within that range. Therefore, unless continuing tracking shows a more refined computation of that outside that range, we will be maneuvering Discovery retrograde to avoid any potential conjunction.
Discovery Houston for JO.
Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, we can answer your question about the rocket body. It's a Cosmos 955 upper stage, and we've got a lot of words on sighting info if you're ready to copy.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, at 3 days, 4 hours, 55 minutes, and 45 seconds, the rocket body will cross from the north, above, and behind the orbiter. At that time, it will be near star 20, and it's going very fast, 24,000 foot per second. And then the rocket body will move south and come to within 1.5 degrees of the moon at 4 hours, 56 minutes, 30 seconds. And then it will slow down and go into sunset about 4 hours, 57 minutes, and 30 seconds.
Okay, well, we'll look for it, see if we can spot it.
Okay, you have to look fast.
This is Mission Control Houston. The Integrated Communications Officer here in the flight control room is operating the onboard payload bay cameras by remote control.
Go ahead.
Are you seeing this aurora we're downlinking?
We sure do. It's just beautiful.
And the flight crew aboard Discovery interrupted the commands of the INCO to downlink some spectacular black and white television here as they track along the northernmost extent of their 57-degree inclined orbit.
What color is it, Mark?
Green.
Discovery is currently orbiting over the northern part of Canada at 56.1 degrees north latitude. And very visible on this downlink image, the Aurora Borealis, or Northern Lights. That call describing the light's color as green was from mission specialist Mark Brown.
Discovery Houston, did you see the rocket body?
No, we missed it.
This is Mission Control. Buckley and Mark Brown are assembling the first of the structural test articles for today's run on the mid-deck zero gravity dynamics experiment. This is called an erectable truss. That means that the crew builds it or assembles it. Once they assemble this center section, there will be on either end 2 deployable modules, and a deployable module is stored in a hinged or folded up state and then is snapped open, and after it is opened, then it can be affixed to this other portion of the model of a truss structure that the crew is working on. The structural test article is attached to the mid-deck locker electronic recording device that will record the movements that it encounters through sensors and strain gauges. The investigators on this experiment believe that the data gathered here should help to refine the numerical models that engineers use to predict the dynamic behavior of such test articles like this that will probably be tested additionally before the space station is actually assembled.
Discovery Houston, we're about 2 minutes from LOS on the west, and we'll have AOS on the east at 5:16.
Okay, Jan, we copy. And before we lose you, just giving you a glimpse out the overhead windows. We're looking south down across the United States. Just about the whole United States is visible from window to window. And right now we're coming up on the eastern seaboard. We can see lights from all the major cities right on down the coast from Maine all the way down almost to Florida.
We can see that. Thanks a lot for the beautiful sight.